And the doyenne of royal journalists and authors, Angela Levin, joins me live now. She is, of course, the biographer of Prince Harry and Queen Camilla. And Angela, breaking news.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
It's all going wrong for the Sussexes. Their chief of staff, Josh Kettler, out of a job after just 3 months. What is it about these two that means no one
Stop it.
either wants to or is able to work with them?
Yes, things that they're doing are crumbling in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Josh. He was employed as chief of staff, and he had a very good comment about him, that he was used to working with demanding bosses in high performance companies. So you would imagine, yes, let's grab him. He's just right for Meghan. And it turns out that he's there mainly for Harry to help him find new paths. But it's been obviously not a good
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
idea. The magazine people in America actually said that it was mutual, and it wasn't just him and it wasn't just them. They decided it wasn't suitable. But I tend not to believe that.
Fact.
Really, because it's just before the two of them go to Colombia. This is a very, very dangerous place. And he was there for the 10th Invictus Games. He was with Harry in the St. Paul's Cathedral.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
And he was there in Nigeria trying to look after him, not in a not in a father-son way, but just to make sure that everything went as smoothly as it could be. And to lose your chief of staff is very, very difficult. You must have to grab somebody who will want to help you. They're only going for 4 days, but they're 4 dangerous days.
You serious?
And they need someone else, but he's off. He could obviously wait just for that. And I think that says it all, because you would say, look, I don't think I'm right for this. And they said, no, I don't think you are either. Well, why don't you come with us to Colombia?
Yeah,
and
let's see you
that's
through
it.
the trip.
It's very unusual for somebody who seems as solid as Josh, that you don't wait for actually a big deal.
Well, that's the thing. He's an experienced guy. He had a good track record.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, if you're blaming anyone, Angela, you've got to look at the people who seem to fall out with whoever they work with. It's extraordinary. Fact. And the other problem that we've got, Angela, is they lie when they're trying to spin to their fond magazines like People or Newsweek, who are very supine and report exactly what they want to, because they're now trying to say, Angela, that they only hired this guy for a trial period. That's rubbish. We all saw the press release with you trumpeting him as the next best thing. Yet again, you have proven impossible to work with, and no one wants to stay.
He's 18th or 19th person who has resigned or gone since they left being
Stop it.
working royals. Now that is colossal, isn't it? Because the one thing that the royals need, or even if they're not royals, that people like them need, who haven't got experience, especially Meghan, you need to know how to behave, what to do. You need advice. It's very, very important. And any royal visit abroad is attended by a great deal of attention, that it's safe, that the people that they're going to see are honourable.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
And it's all done very, very carefully. And this is an absolute disaster. But obviously, there's something there that people don't like. I mean, I know we're going to talk about this later, but
You serious?
Meghan can't find chefs And the reason she can't find chefs, I was told, was that she wants top chefs, which sounds very nice, but she interferes with them all the time. Now, if a top chef does his work, he actually doesn't want someone coming in and saying, well, can you do this? Can you cut that a bit slimmer? You know, it actually will annoy them. And these are the sort of people who don't need a job. They can get a job 1, 2, 3. So it looks very down-headed for them. And there's nothing they seem to do about it. I think they don't realise. I think they're so grand now. Far more than Harry was grand when he was actually a working royal. And it's difficult for them to try to be normal people and talk to people normally. I mean, I've been in Buckingham Palace and all sorts of palaces and talked to the royals a lot. And they treat their staff almost like family. Very polite to them, very nice to them. If they've got problems, they try and help out. Oh my God! They expect hard work, but that's all right. But they care about them, and people are there for decades. I mean, Camilla had 2 aides. One was there for 23 years, and one was there for 20 years. And they both retired. So it wasn't they wanted to go. It just means you need somebody who will stay with you and understand you and help you.
Well, both the Queen, the late Queen, and the late Queen Mother, of course, they had aides as well who stayed with them for decades and decades. And Angela, there's a really key point when you think about this, because do you remember when Harry and Meghan were in the royal family, it was all because the institution was against them. Their
Stop it.
staff were working against them. But there was a real track record of it always being someone else's fault. So do you remember they went through 3 nannies in 6 weeks? That's not normal. But of course it was the nannies who were doing a terrible job and they weren't properly looking after Archie. Then you had the PA, and this was a PA who had worked for Robbie Williams. So big celebrities who have their own diva demands, but no, she...
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
He was crying all the time because Meghan's demands were so terrible. But of course, that was her fault as well, Angela. She was incompetent, according to Meghan. Then you even had Samantha Cohen, who had worked for the late Queen for years and years and years. Yes, so experienced. She couldn't cope with them either. Sarah Latham, who had worked for big, difficult politicians like Hillary Clinton. She wasn't good enough. So actually, it wasn't about the royal family, was it? Because exactly the same thing that happened in the UK in terms of this monumentally high turnover of staff has now been directly repeated in Hollywood.
Yes, it's very interesting, isn't it? I think,
Are you serious?
Meghan doesn't understand what it's all about because she wasn't there long enough. But on the other hand, she thinks she's very glorious and wonderful, and nobody can come near her.
Stop it.
What she knows and what she can do, and so it's very difficult. It's going to be. It's not relaxed, And you see as well that when she was at the palace, she...
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
She said she didn't want anybody to call her by, the Duchess. She thought it was awful. Wasn't necessarily at all. And now she insists on everybody doing that. So the less she's seen, the less she's being royal, the more she wants to be talked to in a very regal way.
So weird, isn't it? That is just so weird. But Angela, I don't think we can completely pin this one on Meghan. I mean, look, we know she's very difficult, but Harry has become increasingly miserable, increasingly impossible to please, and it's very difficult for his staff members too. I mean, I was looking through a lot of the pictures of Josh Kettler alongside Harry in Nigeria, and in every single image Angela, Harry had a face like thunder.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen him with a face that isn't thunder. Going through lots of things, when he was setting up the Parents Network, which we're going to talk about soon. Wherever he goes, if he comes over to the UK, he's very, very moody. I think he's in a very bad state, and he's in my view, he's between a wooden floor.
Rock in a hard place, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. A rock in the hard and a hard place, and he just can't work out how to get out of it or how to change it. Let's put it that way. I feel very sorry for him, but I'm also very cross with the way he behaves. So it's a very tricky one, and I suppose that Mr. Kepler just thought, this is too much for me.
Are you serious?
Lots of shouting, screaming. People aren't satisfied. People don't say, oh, thank you, keep you up all night. There's a way that people will work endlessly for the people they like, and others who feel that they're not being treated properly. And this is a great example of that.
There's a famous Taylor Swift song at the moment, Angela, and the lyrics are, it's me, I'm the problem, it's me. Surely Harry and Meghan need a little dose of that. They need a reality check. This is about you. It's not about the people working for you. Look, some of them might not have been great, but when you're literally talking about every single senior person who comes into your orbit cannot work with you, there has to be some sort of self-reflection, doesn't there?
Yes, of course it does. The thing that is very sad is that Meghan is becoming known to being very negative and destroying things.
Wait for it.
Seen it with Harry's family, that she's not going to ever come to the UK, but she said she is. She just makes things very difficult.
This was not just a coincidence that William put this video out with the beard, because Harry and William have had this long-running battle over beards and whether they were allowed to have one or not.
Okay.
And I think, Fraser, it will actually devastate Harry that William does look better with a beard than he did, because it was sort of the one thing that he had to hold over his brother, because the background, of course, the late Queen allowed Harry to have a beard at his wedding to Meghan, but wouldn't allow William as the future king to have one. We've sometimes got to talk about light issues, right? Issues that are a little bit more fun. And Prince William's beard has completely divided the internet. Now, so he's on a summer holiday, probably in Balmoral or heading to Balmoral soon, and he released a video yesterday to congratulate Team GB after its successful Olympic Games in France. Now, the video...
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
...really was probably most important because it was the first time in a while, since Wimbledon at least, that we saw Catherine. She's beaming, she's looking very healthy, suggests her recovery's going okay. But actually, all everyone was talking about...
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
...was Prince William's facial hair look.
From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB.
Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all.
Maya, what do you reckon? What's your verdict as a man with a beard?
Wait for it.
To the tower. Send him to the tower.
No!
No, it suits him. There's a thing, because the whole thing's been modernized anyway, and some people are kicking off saying he shouldn't be allowed to have a beard. Like, we've had kings, like back in the day. Like, a lot of the German kings and Russian kings as well. They all love the beard. It says as long as he keeps it trimmed and like nice, and also it has to go with you, because if he loses more of his hair and if he actually starts having a beard, it will make him look like a pimp. That's a bit weird. Otherwise,
we can't have Pimp William. It's got to say Prince William.
But he's a good boy.
What's interesting about this, though, Maya, there is a psychological aspect to this, though, because the late Queen, she was pretty cool, really, when it came to most things to do with William and Harry. But the one thing that she banned William from was having a beard, especially for big occasions like his wedding. She said, you're the future king. You have have to be unshaven. And so then William was furious, like really mad, when Harry ignored that advice from the late Queen and wore a big bushy beard for his wedding to Meghan Markle. Maybe it was a sign of things to come, actually, because if he'd listened to his grandmother, he wouldn't have rushed into the wedding with Meghan in the first place. But anyway, that's another story. So to me, there's a bit of a psychological thing going on here. It's William saying, you know what? I'm in charge now. No one's going to tell me not to.
Are you serious?
Wear a beard. And Harry, I look better than you. Because you remember Harry also made that dig about William's hairline in Spare. So there are a few little interesting things behind this beard. I don't think it's totally coincidental that he's decided to keep it for this video.
My theory is also is because Harry and Meghan became rebels, and they kind of, by being rebels, they undermine certain aspects of the monarchy, and including the costumes, traditions. It seems to be it's the Team William basically trying to take control of it. But like, now that's already happening. Wow! So Harry's doing the whole beard thing, and the beard, I think, is a symbolism for everything else. They're not necessarily copying what Harry and Meghan are doing. They're basically saying, well, because they started this, they've already modernized too much too quickly. If we take control of the narrative, slowly, when it's suitable, he's not gonna wear a beard if he's gonna go to some sort of state dinner. I hope not. It's gonna be like too much change too quickly. But it's just taking control of the narrative. So it's not just Harry and Meghan who are trying to be cool.
Here it comes.
We are actually cool, and we have a palace.
Well, and also, I actually think William and Catherine are cooler than Harry and Meghan these days. I know the narrative was different the other way around, but don't you think Harry and Meghan just feel a bit desperate these days? In fact, and actually, William and Catherine are cool because they're not always constantly seeking attention and doing all of these dumb stunts.
Nah, Harry and Meghan are Alistair Campbell and Karen Vorderman, and William and Kate is Dan Wootton and Maya Tusi.
Yeah. But look, we've got to talk about the issue that's dividing the internet today, okay? It may not be as important as free speech or political leadership, but everyone has an opinion on Prince William's beard.
Oh my God!
He looks younger, I think. He looks vibrant. But what's the verdict of our panel? Emma Rock, yay or nay to the beard?
He looks quite good. I like it. Yeah, it looks very macho. If he's allowed to be macho, for so long we've been told you're not allowed to be masculine, but he looks good. He looks rugged. It's what we need right now.
He looks younger, doesn't he? Yeah, he doesn't look woke
good
with his beard, does he?
It kind of balances out the hair,
Yes. Yes, exactly. It's a good look. Sarah Davies Cash, what do you reckon? Yay or nay to William's beard?
I was more looking at Catherine because I always do that. But no, I thought he was a bit rough and ready, and he had a little twinkle in his eye, didn't he?
So rough and ready in a good way?
Oh yes, yes.
Fraser McFarlane, what do you reckon?
Well, I don't think the late Queen would have approved. I don't think she liked facial hair, but
Are you serious?
It suits him a lot better than it does on Prince Harry.
Yeah, it does actually. And this is what's so interesting, right? Believe me, this was not just a coincidence that William put this video out with the beard, because Harry and William have had this long-running battle over beards and whether they were allowed to have one or not. And I think, Fraser, it will actually devastate Harry.
Stop it.
That William does look better with a beard than he did, because it was sort of the one thing that he had to hold over his brother, because the background, of course, the late Queen allowed Harry to have a beard at his wedding to Meghan, but wouldn't allow William as the future king to have one.
Well, you're actually making me feel bad for Harry for once, that the only thing he could hold over his brother was having a beard. Poor lad. I've never actually felt sympathy for Harry until just now.
And now he's lost that too. He's lost that too.
Poor guy. Yeah, karma.
But no, I think, look, it was obviously summer, so he probably thought, well, I'm on my holidays, I'm not going to shave. But I personally would not mind seeing William out and about with a beard. I thought it looked good. But Fraser, do you think that the late Queen was right, that the head of state or the future head of state should not have facial hair?
I honestly don't think it matters. I think we just need to allow them to
Stop it.
have some time as a family during this summer, enjoy themselves, and then get back to working later in the year when Catherine's back to full health.
And wasn't it amazing, Sarah, to see Catherine glowing in that photo?
Almost there.
And
I love it. And I worry about her all the time.
Yeah.
And you know what really hurt? Because I didn't believe that she had cancer to begin with because it hadn't come out. And I thought, well, it's got to be serious. And then there was all that nastiness online.
Are you serious?
And I thought, well, just leave the lady alone. I mean, I said, how would you like it if you're sick in bed, and somebody phones you up and, and try it just doesn't bear thinking about. And then when she came out, I actually cried. Because she's such a lovely girl, isn't she? She's beautiful.
She is. And I think, Emma Rock, we're going to have to give Catherine some time. It's okay for her to pop up like this, but she needs to properly recover. It has been really serious what she's been going through. So I think it's bad that there's a lot of pressure being put on her at the moment to return to full-time duties. I've spoken to a lot of people about this, Emma, and it might be some time. Maybe she's not going to return to the same sort of grueling work schedule, but I don't think that matters. William's out there doing that. We want Catherine to be looking after her health and also being able to devote time to her children, especially given one of them is the future king of this country too.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a huge supporter of Catherine and William. I think the problem where there was a little bit of discrepancy and people started questioning a lot is, again, how it was portrayed in the media and all the difficulties with the photo they put out that was, manipulated, and then there was something else, and then there was a potential viewing of her at a farm shop, and people were all starting to... I think, like with a lot of stuff, when the media isn't, or people in the media aren't clear and direct and honest, that's like with the attacks with the children. I think it creates a vacuum for a load of people to start discussing things. But
I think Kensington Palace really mishandled that situation, to be honest, because you can't just leave a vacuum. I don't use the term conspiracy theory. I'm very clear on this because most conspiracy theories, in my view, come true. So I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy theory about Catherine. They were just outright lies. I mean, idiots like that guy Christopher Boozy, who Harry and Meghan love. They featured him in their Netflix show. He's sort of the spiritual leader of the Sussex Squad. He was out there saying that even the video where Catherine announced her cancer was fake. He claimed it was a deep fake manipulated by AI. And the crazy thing about that, right, is that actually it was filmed by the BBC. So lots of this stuff was ludicrous, but I do agree, Emma, when you leave that sort of vacuum, unfortunately what happens in this day and age is that's where... Well, it's where mistruths can be fueled. So I think it is always best to try and be honest, but obviously...
Wait for it.
There were reasons why Catherine couldn't, because she wanted to tell the kids first, which is totally fair enough, but she didn't want the kids to know when they were at school. She wanted to have a couple of weeks with them. So it made sense, but goodness me.
Wait for it.
I think it's lovely to see the couple looking young and vibrant and happy, and for me, I give William a thumbs up with his beard, especially because I know just how much it will be annoying Prince Harry, which is a nice little benefit too.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Just being honest. You know me, Sarah, you know me.